Well, due to unforeseen circumstances, this is going to be a two-parter tonight, but that's fine because at least we'll be on time for Fergan
And
once.
this is, if you ask me, the best of the two parts. I just feel it in my bones.
You
That
feel
this
it
is
in
gonna
your
be,
bones?
Yeah, I feel it in my bones.
Feel it in your bones.
And I have a rather
All right.
perceptive skeleton, so let's
You have
rock
a
this.
perceptive skeleton. Okay, I'll take that. All right. Well, as promised, we're going to rant a little bit, and this week's rantable question is WTF, Kamala, or Kamala, or whatever you're calling yourself this week. By the way,
Ms.
she's
Harris.
mispronounced her own name on more than one occasion. The whole Kamala thing is new because that
They're
sounds.
just trying to trap people into being called racist.
Well, I mean, because the Indian pronunciation, according to actual Indians who name their children Kamala, that's how it's pronounced as Kamala. But she doesn't want to be Indian anymore, even though that's all she really is. So, but apparently that's more important to her than anything else. But we're not going to go down that path. We're going to talk about her absolute failure. And yes, it's her because everybody knows that Biden ain't even, dude doesn't even know where he is half the dang time. And this is her. And first of all, the absolute just insult of coming out and telling people that they can apply to get their own tax money back. Well, $8 billion the same week was sent over to corrupt money laundering country Ukraine. You, the tax-paying citizen whose money was sent to Ukraine against your will, can apply to receive a whole whopping $750. Lucky you.
That doesn't even pay the rent for most people.
Well, not to mention the fact that they have nothing to pay the rent on, since everything they have ever owned or known or had is gone now.
Well, that's buy you a basket full of groceries.
Not if you can't get groceries. There's no groceries to be had.
I know. I'm just being facetious.
Yeah.
Just being facetious over here.
Over the top. And meanwhile, now this is a little bit old news. Things have changed a little bit, but it shouldn't have had to gone through all the channels that it did. But Elon Musk himself was trying to send SpaceX engineers over there so that people could at least, if they can get power or anything, they could at least get internet or at least phone service for phones that are charged so that they can contact people or get help. And they were being met in every direction with resistance. Why? It makes no sense.
We want to screw it up all by ourselves.
Yeah, it makes no sense. So they've been denied access. So like if they're trying to fly over to get video for some reason, they're now being threatened with arrest if individual pilots try to fly in to rescue people. They're being threatened with arrest. So these people are completely cut off. I mean, look at this. These used to be roads. Those used to be roads that people would travel on. It looks like eroded oceanfront property after a tsunami. I mean, look at this.
Crazy.
There's nothing there, and the few houses that are left standing are destroyed on the inside. They've been completely. I mean, look at this. Cars on the side. I mean, these houses are, even those that weren't completely flooded out, are so far removed from anything. They can't get electricity. They can't get running water. They can't get groceries. Supplies are being denied to them. People way out here in lodges and hotels, they are completely cut off. And they're being turned, volunteers are being turned away. It makes no sense at all. And now they're being told that...
Do you think it's because a lot of these areas are Trump strongholds?
I don't want to think that way.
I don't either.
I've also heard rumors that they've found lithium. I don't want to think that way either.
No, I don't want to go there.
I really don't want to. I really don't. And that's the thing. So many of my left-leaning and sometimes even flaming liberal friends are always asking me, do you really believe this? Do you really believe that? the answer is always, I don't want to.
Right.
And if you can prove it wrong, I would be thrilled. Delighted, over the moon. But, you will absolutely believe 100% that the sitting president of the United States said to drink bleach. Or, that he's a convicted, which he's not, of, all these heinous... Oh, look at that house, completely torn apart.
Yeah, it's
you'll believe anything because it fits your narrative, and then you turn around and say, well, do you really believe this is happening? Well, why would you want to believe the things that you believe and not even check it? Why would you want to believe that? Because the things that I'm seeing, the things that I'm looking at right now with my own eyes, the things that I'm hearing from people who are there, whose boots are on the ground, who are dealing with this right now, I don't want to believe that, and yet there it is. There it is. But you hear this crazy, stupid-ass rumor that's easily verified as untrue, and you're like, nope, I believe it. Hook, line, and sinker. Totally want to believe it. Sounds right. Why would you want to believe that? Why would you want? It says more about you than it does about the person that you're accusing. This is just... These poor people. These poor people. So they're being told that they're not allowed to fly drones, that if you try to actually come in and help, you're undermining the rescue What happened to Americans not only banding together, which they're trying to do against the government's wishes, but the government getting in and saying, okay, let's get everybody together and let's do this and let's do that. And the government is supposed to facilitate it, not stop it. It's, if you have an army of people that are coming in to rescue each other and help each other, you don't stop them. You don't thwart them. You organize them. That's your job. That's literally your only job as a government. You organize them. That's what you do.
That's what you do.
So, Elon Musk, probably the most powerful and rich person on the planet right now, is trying to help them get connected, and the government's like, nah. So finally he starts getting answers, let me know what the blockades are, we'll have the state police move them out of the way. FEMA has zero jurisdiction, so, this went around for quite a bit, and finally, you got Booty Juice and Mayorkas to get off each other's thumbs and actually do something. Mm-hmm. But meanwhile, you've got people that are on the ground with video, with the receipts, saying that they won't let them in. We carry a 500-pound payload of supplies for those in need. Nope, sitting here. They wanted to go to nursing homes in the affected area. They were cut off. Not allowed. Won't let us do anything. And so here are these people that are banding together and trying to help their fellow citizens, and the government, the people that extort our money. When you have a flat tire, you change it. You don't drive around on it for 4 more years to see, oh, that's brutal.
That is mean, but
that's brutal.
Accurate.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah, this is treason. I hate to be hyperbolic, but look at this. Look at what these people.
The reason why those
my
Americans
Lord, look what these people are going through.
Let's face facts. I want my tax money to go to this kind of relief, to help my fellow Americans. I don't need it going to Ukraine. They got their own issues.
$8 billion
is a
the
lot of money.
same week, and they've already got hundreds of billions more just
Plus,
for this.
FEMA also is supporting and backing up illegal immigrants.
Yeah, well, they're trying to say that that's a conspiracy theory while simultaneously saying that they're out of money. They're
not. Our government is never out of money. Okay, it's prioritizing and allocating the proper resources. It's stupid. I don't buy it. Nobody with a brain in their head buys that.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Defy the orders, land the helicopter, get arrested, be front page news, go to court, or we form a militia to get aid to suffering people, overcome these people. This is ridiculous. The government is supposed to support us. The government is, we the people have had enough. The government, like I said, they should be not only encouraging it, but facilitating it. These guys are going to clean up, and we need to. We need to.
Okay. All right. Well, this is Excellent stuff. And I don't know why more homes in this country are, especially in areas that are prone to this kind of weather, why more of them aren't built this way. First Ian, then Idalia.
Yeah, we want to talk about, what's actually going good. So let's, yeah. Before we segue, and you wonder what are they talking about? We wanted to talk about, what's actually going right.
Yeah.
There are some things that are going right. Yeah.
I went right into
that was a terrible segue, Jim.
I'm
awful. Do better, Jim.
I'll get a better segue next time. I'll get one with a motor next time.
Yeah. Did you know that the guy who invented those died when he drove one off a cliff?
No.
You didn't know that?
No.
Yeah, dude that invented the Segway. This is for reals. I'm not even making this up. Drove one off a cliff by accident.
This is not a setup for a joke.
No, this actually happened. I'll look that up while you read this article.
Oh my God, that's horrible.
This is actual thing.
So this hurricane-proof Florida development easily endured Helene, Ian, and Idalia, proving climate designs work. I don't understand why they haven't been doing this for years. First Ian, then Idalia, now Helene, a special housing development in Florida, has withstood.
They're cute too.
Yeah, they're cute and they look very nicely livable. Without any doubt, the neighborhood at Hunter Point and Cortez along
Oh, my bad. It was the owner of the company, not the inventor.
Still, he should have known better too.
But yeah, this actually not to interrupt, but yeah, here it is. Here's the receipts. Segway boss Jimmy Hesselden dies in scooter cliff fall. The owner of the Segway company died after falling from a cliff while riding one of his firm's motorized scooters.
Oh, that's horrible.
Isn't that awful? Yeah.
I mean,
sadly, we won't be showing it, but sadly,
sickeningly funny part of it. But
well, apparently he was a really super nice guy. But
sure
yeah,
when did that happen?
Now, unlike rain on your wedding day, this actually was ironic. Just so we know. Okay.
It's like
off you. Sorry for the interruption. Off you go, Jim.
Off we go, Jim. Okay, has lived up to its billing of hurricane-proof as the storm that has ravaged the southeastern United States with endured that issue. Now, Melanie brought up something interesting during our last interlude that proof is a horrible word to use. Hurricane-proof? No, nothing's hurricane-proof. I mean, I think of the term idiot-proof, and there are idiots.
Never underestimate the power of an idiot.
And they will prove you that the proof is not proof.
The Titanic was sink-proof. It was unsinkable. Yeah, never underestimate the power of an idiot.
There you go.
I mean, just look at the current administration.
All right. Yeah, I'm kind of tired of talking about those numbnuts.
Well, we kind of have to, though, because
I know,
we're talking about
we
this.
have to. It's tied in with everything now. Helene made landfall last Thursday, and Cortez was battered with waist-deep storm surges that turned the roads to rivers. Rivers and roads. Not only did Hunter Point stay dry, but kept the lights on as well thanks to a virtual bevy, I might add, of storm-resistant architectural and landscape designs. Hurricanes were our number one priority. Marshal Go Booty.
What's with the H in brackets?
I don't know. Maybe the guy's British. Hurricanes are our number one priority.
What? Well, the name like Go Booty.
The developer of the built community told Fast Company in the wake of the storm. That's a great business magazine, by the way, Fast Company. How could we build to survive a Cat 5 hurricane? Helene did not make the 5 grade, although we thought it had. But based on how easily Hunter Point survived it, you'd imagine it could handle the worst if it came.
Well, apparently there's another one on the way, so maybe...
Well, another test. The ground floor garage is solid concrete on the first floor. 2x6 timber boards are used for the frames rather than 2x4s. And the walls are filled with hard insulation rather than foam, making it sturdier and more energy efficient.
I wonder what hard insulation is.
Don't know.
It ain't that pink fluffy stuff. Man, that stuff cuts your skin up. I hate that stuff.
The only thing I like about it is that they use the Pink Panther for their advertising. That's all I like about it.
Well, that particular brand, yeah.
Yeah.
Why pink?
Roof was made of steel. I don't know. The 3 floors are interconnected with steel seams. Solar panels are installed on the roof, and the design was tested in an enclosed environment to be unmovable.
But don't worry, they would melt instantly if they got smacked into by an airplane. Oh, wait, that's a different building. that was built to sustain.
Oh, that
Sorry
was
if we're doing-
god awful.
Sorry, if we're doing conspiracy tinfoil hat wearing, might as well go down the whole thing.
But yeah, okay, all right.
They literally were built to withstand.
The building should
Literally
not have,
built to
the
withstand
building should
airplane
not have collapsed. It was not. I mean, just a plane crashing into it should not have been enough heat to melt the building and make it collapse like that. Okay,
Both of them,
both of them.
and the one that wasn't even
Right.
on the same campus.
Right.
They-
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I'm reluctant to talk about that kind of stuff.
They're turning the frogs gay.
They're turning the frogs gay. Okay.
Okay.
Anyway,
But we digress.
much digression.
Much digression.
We've been digressing. We should have renamed. Maybe we should name this.
We should have just named it, but we digress.
Counterculture digression.
Yeah, we have a
With
whole
Melanie
show
Hope
next
and
week
Jim
because we
Monis
haven't done any
anyway,
of the
blah,
show
blah,
this
blah.
week.
Anyway, the solar panels charge a battery system that can power the home for several days till the grid goes down, which happened in Cortez after the hurricane hit. The next morning, when the sun came out, the solar panels went back to charging the battery, which is still running and has been proven in tests to be capable of running in a limited mode for another 9 if needs be. Swales built into the Swales.
Blah, blah, blah?
What's a swale? I thought swales was a person. Swales built into the landscape of the Hunter Point development channeled stormwater away. Oh, that's what a swale is. Okay. Streets until...
You didn't know what a swale was?
No.
Whale. I'm surprised you didn't know what a swale was.
Hardy dang hard. The garages stayed dry, but it was the rain had been much greater or longer. 16 feet of concrete separate the terrain from the
They're
living area.
swales to prevent swales.
hardyhard.com. Okay. Okay. For sure, none of this is cheap. Houses start
That
for
was my
cool
next question.
1.25 mil, but apartments with similar building standards are available for $1,700 and $2,000 in nearby Bradenton, Florida.
That sounds
Some
really
of them-
expensive to me.
It sounds expensive, but having that feeling that you're going to stand while your cheapo neighbors are going to not, I don't know.
How
I
do
think
the
it would be
windows not
worth
break?
it for safety purposes. It'd be worth it.
How did the windows not break?
I don't know, baby. I don't work there. Set within walking distance of
Sounds to me like Trump needs to give his next speech in one of those apartments.
No kidding. As I was saying, before I was so rudely interrupted. Okay. Set within walking distance of entertainment, restaurants, shopping.
You're
I give
getting
up.
better. Yeah, you're
And-
starting to. You're getting there.
I'm not even trying anymore. The price isn't all bad. The insurance costs are much less. You could well imagine their insurance is less. And companies are much
Yeah, but
happier
is
to
it like
insure
$700
buildings that
less, so
include
now I can
Pearl
afford the
Home's
joint?
Stormproof features, which is different from Pearl Harbor's stormproof features. I was on the phone with our insurance company this morning and let them know I'm sending pictures. Everything's great. Go booty, go boot. It's an old fast company.
Why would you
She said-
call the insurance company to say, all's good in the Western Front?
No, because of a storm, the insurance company is going to be bombarded with phone calls, and you want to make
Right,
sure
so
that
you're adding an extra phone call to bombard
Oh.
them with to say, I'm good. I'm all right. I'm all right.
She said, finally, some
Crash.
good news. Insurance is a big, big component of the future because climate change is here and we have to adapt.
Wouldn't you just love to be the person on the other end of the phone line and they're like, oh my God, I lost everything. I need to file a report. Okay, we'll get this started, blah, blah, blah. Transfers them the next call. I'm good. Thanks.
It's like a blues song going, da 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 da. I woke up this morning, da 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 da. Everything was great. Da 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 da. What?
That's Max in the morning.
I woke up this morning. Da 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 da.
There was
Everything
kibble
was
on my
grand.
plate.
Da, 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 da.
I got petted and gee, it felt great. I've got the 5:30.
Hey, little
and-
friskies.
He does too. Wow, wow. Okay, well, we wanted to share at least some good things that were coming out of this. So,
Please.
this guy now.
Represents everything that's great about this country, I believe.
This is what America is about. So I
Yeah.
want to play this video. Don't go down the rabbit hole of them saying he's some kind of cult leader or whatever. They found a picture of a guy with a sort of similar beard from a completely different state. Not the same guy. Don't follow the nonsense, but do. Just. he's not the only one. There's so many people out there being
it is astounding
American.
and
So many
wonderful.
people out there being good and kind and wonderful. So here's an example of everything America is.
Hey guys,
I'm gonna cry again.
this is an invitation to all the people displaced. I don't have much, but I have 84 acres in eastern Kentucky. I got a place for you to come, to get your bearings, to get ready. If you need to be here permanently, temporarily, it doesn't matter to me. I hope this video gets out. I just had my account banned. I had 105,000 awesome followers, awesome network of people that I lost just like that. And that could happen to every one of us, and it will eventually. It's inevitable. Hey guys. So while we can, we need to use this app. And right now, I need your help because I don't have that. I'm relying on you to like this, share this, repost this, get this out to the people in North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Florida, Virginia, Tennessee. We're here for you. Now, Gary, why does this hit you so hard? Well, it's not just hit me so hard because I'm watching people suffer. I'm in eastern Kentucky, but I was born and raised in Rutherford, North Carolina. Chimney Rock, Lake Lure, that's where I used to spend my childhood at the lake, and all my family's there. My aunts, my uncles, my sisters, every bit of my immediate family live in that Rutherford County. And I don't have much. I don't have resources to go down there and take y'all a bunch of resources. I don't have that financially, but what I do have is this mountain, and I invite anyone that needs a place to come. Like I said, temporarily, permanently, it doesn't matter. But my land is your land. We're Americans, and the darkness is all around us, guys. But I'll tell you what, it's time for the light to shine. You're the light. We're the light, man. So if you could just do me a real big favor, guys, like this, share this, repost this. You don't have to follow me. I'm not in this for followers. I'm really not. I just hope this video reaches just a few people. I don't care if it's 5, 10, 15, 12, 1,000, 500. It doesn't matter. If you need a place, DM me. If you know someone that needs a place, DM me. Let's get this video out there, guys. We only have each other. We don't have no man's going to come and save us. No political party's going to save us. We, the people, are all we got right now. If you can't look around and see this, then you're blind. So do me a favor, guys, and let's get this video out. Like I said, my account was banned. I had 100,000 followers, awesome network of people. Lost them all. I hope one of you are watching. I hope all of y'all are watching. I really do. Hope this video gets around because we need each other, guys. More than ever, we need each other right now. And I'm not going to go rant on about certain things and the truth and the things that I could say because this video probably won't make it for 5 minutes if I do. But if you know someone, or if you're someone that needs a place to come, that needs a safe place, a place of refuge, give me a DM, guys. Send this video. And one more thing. God bless this great nation.
That is a good use of TikTok if ever there was one. And that guy is a hero to me. That's what you do in situations like this.
By the way, on his TikTok account, he has a post that said, "I've done the Googling for you," and has all of the articles about that Blankenship dude, and I still can't really tell because they're saying it's a Manson-like cult in Maine. Obviously, he's not in Maine.
Obviously.
I'm not going to go too far down the rabbit hole. All I'm saying is this guy is offering his home, his land, and some of the folks, the comments on this particular TikTok, I like the first one. Let's see if I can bring it up here. My land is your land just sparked my memory of that song. This land is your land. This land is my land from California. Yeah, so sweet. The thing that makes it just so much better is that there are so many more people that are stepping up. There are so many more people that are saying, hey, we've got land too. And it just went on and on and on. It's just such a beautiful, beautiful thing. I'm trying to bring this back up again because like a dum-dum, I closed it.
Don't do that now.
I know. So check this out. I mean...
Yeah, just...
This guy...
Post after post after post.
I'd like to do the same. I'm in southeastern Kentucky, retired military. I have 100 myself. I have 50 acres available to anyone in need. 60 acres is a small building we can make into a tiny home. Now people are starting to ask things like, well, how are we going to provide toiletries and food and this and that? And other people are stepping up. People are donating their RVs. People are donating tents. People are donating food. People are donating, solar systems, wells. I have only 3 acres. A few families, I don't have much, but I have dirt.
If you have a place to, if you have a tent to pitch or an RV to park, hang out. Come along. It's beautiful.
40 acres completely off grid. We'll do the same if needed. God bless you all. And it just goes on and on and on and on. This is America. This is who we are.
Are you tearing up again?
I can't read this without thinking. And, then, of course, there's always the
there's always
jerks
the skeptics and the schmucks,
and that's fine. I'd rather you vet, do pay attention. Don't just go crazy and go out there by yourself on some crazy guy's land in the middle of no dang where, not protecting yourself, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, we don't all always have to be skeptical. Oh, wow, they've even got a scanny doohickey so you can go straight there. Cool. Just, this is who we are. This is who we are. Not fake Kamala with her earphones that aren't plugged in and her blank pieces of paper that she's pretending to write notes on while she, does a photo op from Air Force 2 from her rally in Las Vegas while people are dying, people are starving, people are underwater literally, people are losing everything. And she's fundraising in Vegas. She's supposed to be the president. She wants to be the president, and she couldn't be bothered to leave her cushy Las Vegas gig.
I can remember.
She couldn't even plug in her headphones, for God's sake.
No, I remember when Trump was handing out water and food to people.
And they bitched about, pardon my French, they complained about that. Oh, he threw paper towels. Yeah, you know what you do is you raise people's spirits.
Mm-hmm.
Those people, by the way, I believe that was Haiti, if I recall.
Yeah.
The place that the Clintons decimated.
Right.
And now we're shipping in the crazies from the deepest depths.
The place that our federal government's warning us never to go to because you'll get killed.
Yeah, literally, there are travel warnings against
death
going
you
to
if
Haiti.
You go to this place.
Don't
Welcome
go
to
there.
Haiti. Goodbye.
But hey, let's just import as many of them as we can and stick them in small Midwestern towns that, oh, God, did they really vote for Trump here?
I
Never made that connection.
I believe that Chuck may have something to say about that.
I think you're right. I think you just may be right. Let's see what Chuck has to say. Now that's a segue.
And now, CCW News presents Holy Crap, This Is Actually Happening! Wake Me Up When September Ends edition 2024. I'm Chuck U. Farley. The big news this week is the hide-embarrassed regime's solution to our now wide-open borders. As tens of thousands of certified criminals are doing the Texas two-step through both the Mexican and Canadian borders, President Biden, yes, he's still alive, I think, has elected to send more troops to Israel. No, I am not making this up. Despite the Israeli Defense Force and Mossad showing far more ingenuity than the USA, I mean, come on, exploding pagers, who would have thunk? We are once again paying to police the world while defunding our own country. The Department of Homeland Security informed Florida Representative Matt Gaetz about 5 known assassination teams currently located in the United States, 3 of which have orders to eliminate Donald Trump. Meanwhile, the Department of Injustice released a letter from the most recent failed Trump assassin, aging hippie communist Ryan Ruth. While the same DOJ won't release the manifestos of the last 2 mass shooters, for some reason they couldn't wait to publicize Ruth's letter offering a $150,000 bounty to someone else who could actually finish the job. Unsurprisingly, he called out to Iran specifically. Frankly, he could have just asked the Secret Service directly. They've been doing a bang-up job. Iran, of course, is way ahead of him, allegedly backing one of the aforementioned assassination teams when they're not too busy bombing the daylights out of Israel. Speaking of wrinkled assassins, the sorest loser, Hillary Clinton, once again took to the airwaves to fan the fire, continuing to call Trump a threat to the country and to the world. Maybe she should stop being so lazy and try it herself for once. After all, it's been a few years since she's added to her kill count. In the wake of Sean Diddler Combs' arrest on sex trafficking charges, an old tweet from Kamala Harris's first failed presidential campaign surfaced, thanking the rapper for his appearance at a town hall fundraiser popularizing the myth that the Ooga Booga Bug was somehow racist and was, quote, perpetuating racial inequality and health disparities, end quote. Given that and her participation in Defund the Police and Down with Deportation rallies with race-baiting faker Jussie Smollett, and her nanny-knocking husband who is about to be brought up on domestic abuse charges, it explains why she's been hammering what can be unburdened by what has been. Meanwhile, Kamala Harris graced the Oprah Winfrey Show with her usual flair, answering the softball questions by tossing a gourmet word salad so nonsensical that the Big O herself had to look away to keep from losing it. Among the vice resident's bon mots, let's come together with the character that we are so proud of about who we are. Sadly, leaked photos of the studio showed that she was actually reading from a teleprompter. I swear, I am not making this up. Pravda fact-checkers were quick to announce that the prompter was for Winfrey and totally not for Harris. Honest Injun, or African, or whatever she was in that passage of time. Later in the week, we got a taste of how much worse it gets when she does have to ad-lib because her auto-cue fritzed out during her Flint rally. Quote, remember his number 32? Today, we got 32 days until the election. So 32 days. 32 days. Okay, we got some business to do. All right, 32 days. And we know we will do it, and this is going to be a very tight race until the very end. Toss in some vinaigrette and Kamala croutons because it did not get better from there. While former President Trump is working on ending wars on multiple fronts, the previous frontrunner for Harris's VP, Josh Shapiro, was literally signing bombs meant for Ukraine's President Zelensky. Meanwhile, non-bomb signing Trump was caught grocery shopping for needy Americans, as every evil dictator who is a direct threat to democracy is wont to do. Speaking of New Yorkers trying to right the ship, exactly 1 year ago, Mayor Eric Adams admitted, off script, that the massive influx of illegal migrants are destroying New York City. Whoops. He set foot off the plantation. That is a big DNC no-no. This week, he was indicted by the Harris-Biden DOJ for saying the quiet part out loud. Campaign finance, something Turkish, I don't know, whatever it takes to shut him up. Speaking of migrants destroying communities, illegal aliens who were illegally forced into small communities in Ohio and are doing illegal things are now taking legal action against President Trump and J.D. Vance for besmirching the fine name of the illegal aliens who were illegally forced into small communities in Ohio to do illegal things. For CCW News, this has been Holy Crap, this is actually happening. I'm Chuck U. Farley. Good night, and may God help us. I asked how Chuck was doing as he was walking by. He just held up his hand, kept walking.
Talk to the
He can't take this anymore. He's like...
Well, thank God we have CounterCultureWISE brand vodka. Because
Yes.
he goes through a bottle a day, I swear.
He's picked up his nicotine habit again.
Oh, no.
He loves reporting news, but what's going on these days is just so insane.
Well,
It's
a lot
not
of these
even...
things just write themselves, too. He doesn't even have to...
I know. Like this story. Well...
Now I have to catch up. Okay, where are we?
We are News, the Weird and Wonderful.
Weird and Wonderful. I don't think we did we?
We didn't.
Let's
but we're
give
about
this a shot. Here we go.
CounterCultureWISE is proud to present News of the Weird and Wonderful. Here are your hosts, Melanie Hope and Jim Monis.
This is a little weird, isn't it?
Yeah, and you do such an amazing job with these animations. I love the bouncing Max head. He's such a great cat. Anyway, so while they're spending a lot, we're not the only country, I'm happy to say, that has its priorities all jacked up.
I don't know. I think this is rather innovative.
Well, I don't know. Russian companies have established a barter trade system with Pakistan to facilitate
Pakistan?
economic exchanges without the need for monetary transactions as they seek to overcome challenges with payments related to Western sanctions on Moscow. The alternative trade agreement was signed at the first Pakistan-Russia Trade and Investment Forum in Moscow, or the according to the Russian state media outlet TASS. The first Russian company to use the mechanism will be Astarta Agro Trading, which will supply Pakistan with chickpeas and lentils. Pakistan's Mesque and Femti trading company will reciprocate by providing mandarins and rice. Ooh, yum. Anyway.
Chickpeas and lentils.
Under the terms of the agreement, Russia will export 20,000 tons of chickpeas, also known as garbanzos, while Pakistan...
I'm really surprised that
is a bunch...
Pakistan, any Middle Eastern country, has to import the main ingredient of hummus.
I know, that's a ton of
That
hummus.
seems weird to me that they would
plus,
have to import that. That wouldn't be like already a thing.
While Pakistan will supply an equivalent amount of rice. Another contract stipulates that Russia will send 15,000 tons of chickpeas and 10,000 tons of lentils.
Lentils are also a
exchange
Middle
for
Eastern staple. How are they not grown?
15,000 tons of mandarins and 10,000 tons of potatoes, of course, because potatoes.
Because potatoes.
According to Nasir Hamid, Pakistan's deputy commerce minister, the barter system was created due to difficulties with mutual payments. Okay.
Is that your Pakistani accent?
That's my Pakistan.
Yeah,
I have no idea what they sound like.
Yeah,
While monetary transactions are under increasing scrutiny due to international sanctions against Russia in retaliation for its invasion of Ukraine, barter schemes offer companies a way to circumvent complications by exchanging goods directly rather than involving bank payments. Such deals help avoid attention from monitoring organizations tasked with ensuring compliance with sanctions. So, yeah, they were also, this article goes on to state that they've been in discussions with China about resuming barter trade as well.
Well, I mean, isn't that how we used to do things?
Yeah.
The whole
and
monetary...
I got to admit, it's a clever way of circumventing the world police, you know. I think that's actually pretty clever. I'm not saying I'm pro-Russia. I'm also not pro-Ukraine.
Well,
I think
you can appreciate intellect
I appreciate what they're
and
doing.
resiliency and human condition and things like that without supporting the government of whatever. Anyway.
Yeah, that's true. That's
so,
true.
Yeah, I just thought that was different.
This one is also different. We got lots of different tonight. We got
This was just
oodles and boodles of different.
I don't even know how to deal with this. One's cracking
This is
my
hilarious.
behind. Oh, but what a fist! What a fist on this guy. He's definitely a Brit.
Your face is like a sword.
Definitely a Brit. There's no escaping.
No.
That is
He looks like that guy from Guardians of the Galaxy, anyway.
a little bit, yeah.
A bit.
A bit. Oh, I guess it's me.
Yeah, it's your turn. I'm just saying la la la.
A woman discovered her house had been broken into by a burglar who hung out her washing, put her shopping away, and cooked a meal on her stove. Damien, not even going to try, 36, was jailed for 22 months in Cardiff Crown Court on... Knock yourself out, kid.
One Lowich.
And who's going to say, no, that's not right? Is there anybody out there who's going to say, that's not right? Yeah, would you hurt me? In Monmouthshire, in July, the woman said she was left too scared to stay in her own home after returning from work to find items had been moved in the garden and her recycling bin had been emptied. And this guy says, I would be paying this guy to come every day. The burglar left her a note saying, don't worry, be happy, eat up, and scratch?
And scratch.
What does that mean?
I was afraid you'd ask.
Why?
Because I don't have the answer.
Oh. The court also heard the bird feeders had been refilled and plant pots had been moved. This isn't a burglar. This is like hired help. This guy's awesome. Could you come burgle our house? Inside the house, a pair of shoes had been removed from packaging, which was placed in the recycle bin. Prosecutor Alice Sykes said a meal had been cooked using items from the woman's cupboard. and she's scared. I'm like, this guy's like Santa Claus. Shopping had been taken from a bag and placed in the fridge, which had been rearranged. Kitchen utensils had been placed in the bin, and new ones from the shopping bag had been laid out. And toothbrush heads had been replaced on toothbrushes. An empty bottle of wine had been placed in the rack, having been drunk. Okay, well, you drank my wine. That's it. It's over. It's over. And the floor had been cleaned with a mop and bucket left out.
I have
The victim
no idea
also
what
saw a
scratch
bottle
means in
of
this
red wine
regard.
had been left out next to a glass and a bottle opener, and there was a bowl of sweets on the living room table. She spoke to her neighbor, who described seeing someone hanging out washing. In a victim personal statement, the female victim said, 2 weeks after the crime, until he was caught, I was living in a state of heightened anxiety I'd never experienced before. Yeah, I'd be really anxious that he might come and, I don't know, vacuum maybe?
Make dinner and vacuum
Clean
the floor.
the windows. Make me breakfast. Give me a foot massage. Yeah, I'd be terrified. I'd be waking up in a cold sweat. I wondered if it was somebody who knew me, if it was going to turn into a stalking incident, if he knew how I lived alone, and if I had been targeted. I was too scared to stay in my own home and stayed with a friend. So she came back and the house had been repainted and insulation put in the windows, and her dog had been fed. And a second burglary took place at another home in July when the male homeowner received a CCTV alert on his phone, which showed me walking on his driveway. The defendant went on to use the shower in a summer house to wash and clean his clothes. Food and drink had also been consumed, and the hot tub had also been left dirty. The hot tub had been left dirty? Ugh. What does that mean?
Means he took a bath in the hot tub.
Ick. The victim asked his son-in-law to attend the property, and the defendant appeared to be drunk and was holding a glass. Well, that is how you would drink, yes. He was asked to leave and did so, but the burglar was later arrested. His DNA was found on fingerprints from the first property he burgled. The homeowner, now I want a burger. The homeowner said he felt sick, horrified, and I know, your constant state of burger desire. Felt sick, horrified, and useless when he became aware of the burglar. I was hoping to avoid that word. Tabitha Walker, defending with said the client was homeless at the time of the offenses and was undergoing a number of difficulties. She said he was apologetic to the victims and for the harm he had caused to them. Sentencing, blah, blah. This is a significant intrusion on their homes. Wajihurdi, of no fixed abode, pleaded guilty to 2 counts of that word. Burglary. The court heard he has 4 previous convictions for offenses, including common assault, public order offenses, and failing to surrender.
No surrender.
To surrender. Well, he has a home now.
Yes, he does.
So let's give him that.
All right.
Okay, more wonderful than weird.
Once a year, Ursula Bannister climbs to High Rock Lookout, a viewpoint near Ashford, Washington, close to Melanie's old stomping grounds, where she scattered her mother's ashes 23 years ago. She brings flowers for her annual visit. Bannister, 79, way too old to be hiking, usually hikes with a family member. Bannister, 79, usually hikes with a family member or friend along the 3.2-mile trail, which is a relatively difficult trek.
Why are we reading
this
with a
year
British accent?
on August? I don't know why. Because her name is Bannister, Ursula Bannister. How much more
Not
British can a
Bannister, like the thing you slide down.
So what?
Not the thing you hire to get you off of your burglary charges.
I hereby sentence you to 3.5 years and stick it up the butt prison for...
And you're going to laugh, but I have actually hiked that trail.
I believe it.
And it's not easy.
For the crime of burglary.
Yeah.
Bannister usually hikes with a family member or friend along a 3.2-mile trail. I got to tell you, if you ever get a chance to go to Washington State, if you want to go to Seattle, whatever, but spend some time on these hiking trails.
Tiger Mountain.
They are
Mount
among
Si.
the most beautiful and scenic in the whole country.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
And plus, if you can visit Rainier, do that.
Yeah.
It's much more rewarding than, walking.
Stinky old pea-smelling dumb old Seattle.
Anyway, This year on August 28th, Bannister went on her own, figuring she'd be fine because she's an experienced hiker. Foreshadowing.
You don't go on your own, though.
It's steep, so it's considered a hard
She's
hike.
not British, Jim. Criminy. And there is no penguin on the telly, so could you just...
Nice. Anyway, it's steep, so it's considered a hard hike. And now the upper class twit of the year award. It's steep, so it's considered a hard hike, but because I've done it so many times, I wasn't nervous about it, said Bannister, who lives in Tacoma, Washington.
Yep, been there, done that.
Yep. Bannister arrived at the trail around 11 a.m. and made her way to Lookout. As she headed back down, she made a misstep. Whoopsie! And her foot got caught in a hole in the ground.
Ooh, I hate that. That hurts.
She fell forward. By the time I sat up, my foot was pointing the wrong way.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy. I knew right away I had broken my leg, she said, along with a screaming pain.
Oh, she didn't just sprain something. Sweet
I tried
girl.
to get up with my hiking pole and it collapsed on me. Bannister cried out for help. Help! Help! Help!
I'm falling and I can't get
became
up.
underdog. And before long, a stranger approached and called 911. They were told a search and rescue team would arrive in 5 hours.
What? 5 hours?
This is Washington State. There's bureaucracy and things.
That's true. They are liberals.
It wasn't very encouraging, Bannister said. I asked this man to please ask anybody if they had any painkillers because at that point, the pain was pretty substantial.
Excuse me, I fractured my leg in 47 places. Can I have an aspirin? Does that bark have any numbing quality?
No one in the vicinity did, but 2 young men at the Lookout came over to see what was going on. When they saw Bannister on the ground in agony, which is, just south of Tacoma.
Now, hold on a
they
tick.
Immediately made...
This poor woman with her foot pointing the wrong way is saying, pardon me, would you happen to have an aspirin? And people were like, nope, and kept on walking and just left her there? Seriously? Okay, first of all, I never go hiking without a first aid kit, which does include pain relievers. And second of all, you don't leave the broad sitting there with her foot pointing the wrong way.
Unless it's like a level road that goes for 5 miles in a circle.
Even then, you don't go alone.
Don't go alone. Don't go alone. Just don't go alone.
At least
take
a dog so they can go see
when they saw Bannister on the ground in agony, which is just south of Tacoma, as the joke went before, they immediately made an offer. They could carry Bannister to the bottom of the trail.
You don't just leave her there.
Troy May, a U.S. Air Force airman stationed at Joint Base
Who
Lewis
took the pictures? I want to know who took the pictures.
Cool.
There's just some person in the background like, hey, click, 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 click.
Courtesy of Ursula Bannister. Well, it just says she provided the photo herself. Troy May, or maybe not, I don't know. Troy May, a U.S. Air Force airman stationed at Joint Base Lewis McChord, was at the lookout that day with his fiancée and a friend who was visiting from New Mexico. I knew I was capable of carrying her down, said May, 20. I really didn't make much of a decision. I just knew I needed to carry her down if I could. May eased Bannister onto his back and started hiking downward. He carried her for most of the nearly 3-hour journey, and his friend Leighton Allen carried her for the rest. Others pitched in as well. Shortly into the hike, May's boots were giving him blisters. Excuse me, why do I do that?
I don't know.
A man he didn't know on the trail saw the situation and gave May his shoes. That was just one kindness, said Bannister. A physical therapist bandaged Bannister. Boy, that's the name of my new band.
Bandaged Bannister?
Bandaged Bannister. Before they headed down the trail and built a makeshift
I've already
splint
designed
for
your
her
album
leg
cover in my head.
out of wooden scraps, and an occasional therapist did breathing exercises with her to help calm her. The baby changes everything. Crash, bang, boom.
Crash, bang.
I was just overwhelmed with gratitude that these people literally came out of the woods to help me, and they were totally unselfish and kind, she said.
Well, except for all those people that just left her there to die.
It didn't say anybody just left her there to die.
She asked them for aspirin, like, sorry, old chum, bye!
I'm sorry, old horse. Oh, my. During the long hike down, her rescuers I think I hadn't read English before.
Yeah.
Shared stories and asked Bannister questions about her own life to distract her from the mounting pain.
Yeah, well, okay, I can see why...
Over the mounting pain.
I can see why you're upset. We literally had to pause our show because we had 911 guy just barge into our house.
What's all this then?
Seriously, so we had to pause the show, which is why it's a two-parter, because we just got a knock on the door, and guy
can
with
it be
fire truck
knocking at my
ambulance thing
door?
said, yeah, we
Look
got it.
out.
Don't do that. You'll set the dog off. And we got a 911 call to this address saying that somebody fell. And we're both like, no, I didn't fall. Did you fall? I didn't fall.
No,
No,
did the
we're
cat
fine.
fall?
But what was weird about this is that we heard the knock. Of course, the dog went off. And before Jim could even get to the door, dude just like walked in like he owned the joint.
A 911 guy may need to do that if it's an
Well, I
emergency.
guess,
Seconds
but at
count.
least give us a chance to get to the door. Well, I guess it was a fall and I was all by myself. But I'd be like, hey, I fell.
And I
Anyways,
can't
we were
get
fine.
up.
So my concern was with the neighbor. I'm like, please, please, please check on the neighbor because I know she lives alone. And so hopefully they just got their wires crossed. But
They got the old drunkard
the
taken care
pathetic
of.
thing about it, you heard the first part of our you heard, if you heard our opening, the pathetic part about it is both Jim and I later admitted that we thought he was
Somebody sent by the church
to
fix
our washing machine.
Because he had a toolbox in his hand. What
It
looked like a toolbox in his hand.
That's what it looked
Like,
like to
okay.
me. And I was all excited, like, yay, we're gonna have her. No.
No.
It's just somebody called, and it's not like you can prank that. It's not like you're delivering
No.
pizza to someone, you know.
Right.
So I really hope that they just got their wires crossed, and that if something did happen to our neighbor, that they got to the right place. So he said he was going to check it out because I said, yeah, she does have issues. We'll just leave it that way. And hopefully everything's okay. So say a little prayer for our neighbor. I won't mention her name or anything, but
I don't remember
I do know
her
she
name.
lives
That's
alone.
how important. Anyway,
I do, but if she does live alone, if she did fall, I hope everything's okay. And in one way, it was heartening to know that if something did happen, 911 actually would come all the way the heck out here in the middle of no dang where. And yet also terrifying that they would just bust open the door like they owned the joint and march in, So, plus the guy was like wearing shorts and a t-shirt and he had long hair.
He didn't look like an EMT guy.
My first thought was, that was an EMT because...
No.
Yeah, press X to doubt. Anyway. If you wonder why we're a little flustered, that would be why.
Yeah. So they bandaged Bannister, and
bandaged Bannister.
She's doing okay.
Boom crash. Boom crash.
Mr. May, or
look at her. Look, even with as much pain as she, and she's all smiling.
And Troy May received an Air Force Achievement Medal for helping to rescue her.
Oh, there she is. Nice. She reminds me of your mommy.
Yeah, she does look a bit like my mom.
Addie is
she broke her leg in 3 places: her tibia, fibula, and heel bone. Ouch, ouch, and furthermore, ouch.
She really messed herself up.
Yeah, she's healing
nicely. That's a good-looking kid. He has a future ahead of him.
Yeah.
Wow, that poor woman, and look at her.
Yeah.
That had to. Oh wow, she had to have a titanium plate, 11 screws. Lady, when you do it, you go all. Yeah, now when she walks, it's like no. Wow.
That's
but
cool.
she made it. I mean, she could have died on that mountain. People were like, nope, sorry, I don't have any aspirin. Have a nice day. I mean, what? Really? Really? Okay, well.
That's my wife.
I just don't understand people anymore. Okay. I think we're gonna skip news of the wicked and go straight for the wonderfuller. What do you say?
I'm okay with that. We've been
really
on
all over
God
the place.
Knows.
Don't worry, we will still share these stories next week. But for now, let's just head straight on.
Going straight on for you.
Now I'm stronger. Now I'm coming through. Oh, straight on.
And we just got DMCA'd or DCMA'd
or
Damascus. I don't know.
Here on CounterCultureWISE, we may rant, we may rave, but most of all, we go against the current culture because we believe, to the core of our beings, that humans are good and the world is an amazing and beautiful place. At the beginning of our show, we give you news of the weird and wonderful, but that is just the tip of the magnificent iceberg that is our world. We now present news of the wonderfuller. I just love that little
By the way, you
puppy
do a
butt at the end.
fantastic job on that guitar for that music. That
Well,
is
thanks. I've been practicing.
Yeah.
I don't play guitar, Jim. Come on now. Let's not lie to our audience. I play the ukulele. Okay.
She does. She
Badly, but God bless Jim. As I'm like, Jim, I learned a song. He's like, I'm so proud, because he got me. So I'm like, okay, here we go. Twing. Reposition the fingers. Call.
I'm still proud of her.
Twing. Call. And God bless him. He sang along. Lit. Toll. Yeah, it was pretty bad. But, yep, that's my Jimmy. He sang along. Star. Okay, let's share this story because this is a nice one to land on. This is a really weird podcast today.
This has been the weirdest broadcast we've done in about 3 or 4 years.
Yeah,
probably.
this is bizarre.
It's just
I've been having a
off-the-wall
good time.
weirdo
I
stuff.
know. We started by complaining and whining, and then God is good, and then hurricane
God is
victims,
great.
and Kamala's evil, but God is still good. And yeah, anyway.
Yeah, that
A Michigan.
kind of thing.
This is actually an older story, but it's just too sweet not to share. A Michigan cop who stopped an elderly man for speeding ended up helping him set up a flat screen TV after the driver told him he was going through a hard time. September 30th, Sterling Heights officer Kevin Coates pulled over a 79-year-old man named by officials only as David. Dashcam footage captured the emotional exchange where David told Officer Coates his wife was sick and their son is suffering from mental illness. He tells, I think this guy was just at his wit's end and just didn't know what to do with himself. He tells Officer Coates he was speeding because he was driving around trying to find someone who could help him hook up his newly purchased 50-inch flat screen TV, which he bought to cheer up his family. So, here he is. He's emotional.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he wasn't intoxicated or anything. I really try to drive right, he says. I bought a television today because I wanted to make my wife happy and I can't get it hooked up, he can be heard saying to the officer. After explaining his tough day, I feel for this guy. This is where I was yesterday with all the things.
I was a mess
Officer
yesterday,
Coates extended his sympathy, and instead of giving David a ticket, he let him off with a warning and also offered a helping hand. Officer Oates promised to stop by. Wasn't he Coates earlier? Has he been Oates all along? Yeah, he was Coates earlier, and now he's Oates. Well, he lost his C. Okay, now he's Coates again. Here we go. Officer... It seriously says Officer Oates, but he's been Coates this whole time. Okay. Officer Coates promised to stop by David Sterling's Height home after his shift to help. Well, I'm getting another police run right now, so I can't come by now, but if I have time tonight, maybe I'll stop by and take a look at it, Coates told David. The Sterling Heights Police Department said that within an hour of the traffic stop, Officer Coates, accompanied by Officer Remy, I'm not going to try with his new recruit officer, Jeremy G. Jim, did your dad write this? What are Jakovich? You got to read these names for me.
Hold on. I don't have that up on my laptop. Let me see.
And Jakob. Okay, so we got Virgil
Coates.
Thanks, Jim.
Vergstrate.
And
Vergstrate.
this one. That looks like your dad's name.
It's very close. Jakutovich.
So we got Officer V and Officer J. We got Officer J.
And Coates.
And Coates, yes, I got the Coates. Thank you.
No problem. Happy to help.
Assisted with installing his
do.
television as well as hooking up the cable. Police said that once everything was set up, David was very thankful for the help. Look, he looks like a sweet old chubby guy. Why are you a cop if you're that chubby? Okay. Officer Coates pictured. Thanks. Some random dude pictured. Why would you? Okay, I guess they do that though. Helped out an elderly man named David last week after he told, there's this. They took a picture of the TV. That was nice of them. Eventually went to the 79-year-old man's home. 2 other officers to help set it up. There they are, setting it up. Audio of the officers at David's home captured the officers explaining how the remote works and David telling the officers, I appreciate you. That's not an officer's job, going in and hooking up a TV, right? The lieutenant told Fox 2 Detroit, but he took it upon himself, an act of kindness, saying, look, we're people too. And we're trying, for some reason, there's no apostrophes. I think they mean we're people too, and we're trying to help our citizens. That's what cops are supposed to do. That's literally your job. Somebody's got to step up, and we're glad to do it, he added. Department Chief Dale, good Lord, for what country are these people in?
You
got nothing?
Sorry, even I got nothing on that one. Dwozhabowski.
Sure, what you said.
Whatever it said.
Also complimented the 3 officers' kind. I'm very proud of Officer Coates, Officer and Recruit Officer for going above and beyond
And of course,
to help our residents.
Police Commissioner
Rudolph
Jakobowitz.
The queue was silent. It's just another example of the amazing service of the Sterling Heights Police Department that provides our community. So that is a very, very sweet thing.
It's a great story with a bunch of foreigners that landed in BC. And
what planet these people came from, but it ain't to act. Well, folks, I hope you had as much fun as we did.
This was a different vibe.
It was definitely a different vibe than normal, and no, it was not because we were drinking.
No.
There's a lot of things on our heart today, and we decided to just be open and honest and vulnerable. So I wish this for you as well. May you go forth and be open and honest and vulnerable, and may you find the love and the concern and the American way that we have found. God bless every single person who's going through what they're going through right now, through the hurricane, and brace yourself for what's coming. God bless every single person who's trying to help them, and God bless America. We look forward to seeing you next week. Go out and do something kind. Bye.
CounterCultureWISE is a Stormcat production.
Thank you for joining our growing family of listeners. All links from the show are available on our website, CounterCultureWISE.com. Find our archives on any of your favorite podcast hosts.
We engage in satire, commentary, and generally laugh at the ridiculousness of our crumbling society. Our only medical or financial advice is to not follow any financial or medical advice given by podcasters.
Our animations, interviews, Holy Crap segment, and other videos are put out on BitChute and Rumble, and only in part on YouTube because they hate free speech.
Our show is entirely funded by listeners like you. Visit our ever-expanding merch store or our Subscribe Star, where you can get outtakes, extra videos, and sneak peeks.
If you would like to be a guest on our program, feel free to contact us via our website. Just click on the link at the top that says, Be a Guest on Our Show.
For more fun and cat pics, please visit our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. For complaints about our show, please fill out the ID10T form on our website, and we will give it the attention it deserves.
Meanwhile, no matter how cruel the world may be around you, always remember the importance of kindness. Be kind to each other, be kind to animals, and be kind to yourself. See you next week. I've heard say this. Apparently, Tim Walz was a really good coach and a really good teacher. A decent teacher, which,
Yeah.